Hello dear students, let us start with the part 7 of chapter 3 Inheritance and Variation, and today I am going to teach you a very interesting concept, that is pleiotropy. So let us see what is this pleiotropy. In this picture you can see that there is this single gene. This change in this single gene, it is causing different traits, different effects, or single gene, it is affecting many traits, trait A, trait B, trait C. So when a single gene affects multiple traits, it is called as pleiotropy. If you remember last time I had taught you multiple alleles. There were many alleles, many gene pairs which were affecting a single trait. So we can say pleiotropy is exactly opposite. There were many alleles, one trait. Here there are many traits, single gene. So when changes in a single gene brings about number of effects on phenotypes, characters or traits, it is called as pleiotropy. So when a single gene, it controls two or more different traits, it is called as pleiotropic gene, and this phenomenon is called as pleiotropy or pleiotropism. According to Mendel, one gene controls one character, but sometimes single gene produces two related or unrelated phenotypic expressions, and this can be seen in case of sickle cell anemia. So one of the example is sickle cell anemia. So we can also say here, as there is a single gene which is affecting different traits, pleiotropism, it is an example of non-allelic or intergenic expression. Let us see sickle cell anemia. So before starting with sickle cell anemia, I would like to explain you what is the structure of hemoglobin. If you can see in this picture, hemoglobin consists of 4 chains. 2 chains are alpha chains. You can see alpha chain number 1, alpha chain number 2, and 2 beta chains, beta chain 1 and beta chain 2. So it is made up of 4 chains of hemoglobin. Okay, and if there is some change in the beta chain of the hemoglobin, it causes sickle cell anemia. So now let us go to sickle cell anemia and see what it is. It is an autosomal recessive blood disorder. So it is a blood disorder which is caused due to some changes or mutation in autosome, and which autosome? Autosome number 11. If there is a change in the sequence of the gene present on autosome number 11, it causes sickle cell anemia. It is caused by a point mutation in beta globulin chain of hemoglobin. Let us see what it is. At the 6th position, hydrophilic glutamic acid is replaced by hydrophobic valine amino acid. Look at this diagram now carefully. This is the DNA. It is a normal DNA. Normally the DNA, it is having CTC, and when RNA is formed, it forms GAG. CTC is the codogen, GAG is the codon on present on RNA. When codon GAG is present on RNA, at the 6th position, what is formed? Glutamic acid is present at the 6th position of the beta chain, beta globulin chain, and then a normal hemoglobin is formed. But if suppose there is some mutation on chromosome number 11, then what happens? This mutation is a point mutation. You can see instead of CTC, CAC is formed. So only this sequence is changed. You can see here it was AT, here it is TA. So it is example of a point mutation where, what is point mutation? One nucleotide base pairs, it alters. So what happens if there is a change in the codogen? Of course the codon will change. Instead of GAG, what is the codon on mRNA? It will be GUG, and when GUG is the codon on mRNA, protein formed is little bit different, because at the 6th position at the beta chain, instead of glutamic acid, valine is added, and valine is a hydrophobic type of amino acid, and so a different type of beta chain of hemoglobin is formed. Hemoglobin structure is not formed properly, and it leads to sickle cell anemia. So this is an example of point mutation. In this slide you have studied so many things. You have studied what sickle cell anemia, it is an autosomal disease. It is caused due to which autosome? Autosome number 11. It is recessive in inheritance, means it will show its expression only if it is in homozygous condition. Then you studied it is point mutation. Point mutation means only there is change at one place of the nucleotide sequence. Because of this point mutation, what is happening? The beta globulin change of hemoglobin changes. What is the change? In the codon present on RNA, instead of GAG it becomes GUG. Therefore, instead of adding glutamic acid at the 6th position in the globulin chain, valine is added, and thus the hemoglobin structure changes. This result in, now look at this picture. There in the picture you can see these are normal RBCs, biconcave enucleated structures. But when there is change, when there is mutation, point mutation on the autosome number 11, the shape of the red blood cells it change, it becomes sickle shape. Sickle मराठीत आपण विळी म्हणतो. Sickle shape cells occur. What happens if there is sickle celled shape of the RBCs? Now you can see they are not able to flow properly, and so they accumulate or they clog together, and they cause blocking of the blood flow in the arteries. So proper supply of blood is not given to all important organs if a person is suffering from sickle cell anemia. Now if it is a sickle shape RBC, there is less hemoglobin, and if there is less hemoglobin, less supply of oxygen will take place to important vital organs, and it leads to hypoxia condition. It leads to anemia also because less hemoglobin. So you can see this is a normal type of RBC, biconcave disc, oval in shape, enucleated, and in cross section you can see there is lot of hemoglobin present inside. But if sickle cell RBCs are present, quantity of hemoglobin is abnormal, and they also cause blocking of the blood flow. Now what are the symptoms of sickle cell anemia? Of course that person becomes anemic because less hemoglobin is present, so less iron, and so it leads to anemia. Fatigue, tiredness are the symptoms. Blood clogging occurs, blood plaques are formed. We just now have seen in the earlier picture how because of the shape they cannot flow properly in the blood along with the blood flow, and so they lead to blood clogging. Hypoxia, less supply of oxygen is hypoxia. Frequent infections will take place. Swellings of hands and feet occur. Delayed growth or puberty is delayed in such people. There is frequent pain in chest, abdomen, or even in bones. So these are some of the symptoms of sickle cell anemia. Now let us see the genotype and the phenotype in case of a sickle cell person. If the genotype of a person is HbA, that is homozygous dominant condition, then the person's hemoglobin is normal, like you and like me. We do not have the mutated gene for sickle cell anemia. So what should be our genotype? Our genotype will be HbA. I have told you the sickle cell anemia causing genotype is a recessive genotype. So look over here. If the person is having HbS, this HbS is representing sickle cell, but it is in heterozygous condition. So these people, they are called as the carriers. These heterozygotes are called as the carriers, and these people, they survive, they remain alive, but they show mild anemia because their cells become sickle cell trait, though all cells do not become. But if the person is in homozygous condition, homozygous recessive HbS condition, this time the person develops sickle cell anemia, and this case is lethal, and the person is obviously going to die, and this death takes place immediately, say 1 year after birth or something. So it is a lethal gene, it will kill that child. Let us see what will happen if two people who are heterozygotes, sickle cell carriers, they marry with each other. Suppose this is a genotype HbS, HbA, and genotype of another person HbS, HbA. Suppose this is a male and this is a female. If they marry with each other, remember this gene is present on autosome number 11. So it can be present on both males and females, right? Now the gametes form will be HbS, HbA. Here also gametes form will be HbS, HbA. In F1 offsprings, the first offspring will be HbS, HbA. So this child is homozygous recessive. Of course, it is a lethal condition. He develops sickle cell anemia and he dies. In case of heterozygous HbS, HbA, this is a heterozygous condition. These are carriers. They do develop some anemic symptoms. Some of the cells become sickle cell, but they do not die. They survive. And HbA, HbA, homozygous, this child will be a normal child. So what is the ratio obtained? We are considering the death of this person as it is a lethal gene. So the ratio obtained is there are 2 heterozygotes and there is 1 normal. So the ratio obtained is 2:1. So it is not following the Mendelian rule. According to Mendel, it should be 3:1, but this monohybrid cross, the result is coming 2:1. Thus it is neo-Mendelism. Here, a marriage between 2 sickle cell carriers, the same thing which we have seen in the chart, produces 1 normal. Yes, this was 1 normal. 2 carriers, yes, 2 carriers, and 1 anemic lethal child who dies. So the ratio is 2:1. Another example of pleiotropy is phenylketonuria. Okay, it is also an autosomal recessive disorder, and the gene mutated which leads to phenylketonuria is present on chromosome number 12. Understand, remember. Okay, it includes accumulation of phenylalanine in body due to absence of a hepatic enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase. Very simple. There is some change in the gene which is present on autosome number 12. As this gene is mutated, one enzyme is not produced. It is an enzyme, hepatic enzyme produced by liver. And what is the name of that enzyme? The name of that enzyme is phenylalanine hydroxylase. So this enzyme is not produced. This enzyme is used to digest what? Phenylalanine. As this enzyme is not produced, what will happen? Phenylalanine won't be digested, won't be converted, won't be broken down. And so there is accumulation, collection, aggregation of phenylalanine in the body. Now the phenotypes includes, if a person shows continuous accumulation of phenylalanine due to deficiency of phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme, what occurs to this person? Symptoms like mental retardation, depletion of melanin pigment, tyrosine, amino acid, neurotransmitter dopamine, all these are not formed. Rashes are developing on the body. This person may suffer from seizures. Okay, and basically mental disorders, brain disorders are produced in these people. Let us see this wonderful chart. You can see here phenylketonuria. So it is an autosomal recessive disorder. Yes, which chromosome is responsible? Chromosome number 12. Why it is occurring? It is occurring because of accumulation of phenylalanine. Where? Mostly in the brain. What is it resulting into? One of the symptoms is mental retardation, but seizures may occur, rashes may develop. Okay. Now what happens in a normal person? We are eating protein diet. We eat fish, we eat legumes, pulses, egg. All these protein food from our body, the proteins from the food we intake in our body and the proteins from our muscles, they break down in our body during digestion and they develop amino acids. Different types of amino acids are formed, and one of the amino acid formed is phenylalanine. Usually this phenylalanine is digested by an enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase and it is converted to tyrosine. This tyrosine, it is converted later to form melanin pigment, different proteins in our body. Okay, it also forms a neurotransmitter dopamine. Now in the persons who are suffering from PKU is phenylketonuria, they eat all the proteins and the muscular protein. They are broken down into amino acids. Further, they break down into another amino acid and they also form phenylalanine. But they lack the presence of phenylalanine hydroxylase. It is a hepatic enzyme. This is absent in them. As this is absent in them, phenylalanine will not be converted to tyrosine. Phenylalanine won't be converted to melanin. Phenylalanine cannot be converted to dopamine. Okay, there is deficiency of dopamine. And then there is accumulation of this phenylalanine in the body, in the brain, and it causes mental retardation and many different types of diseases. So this is one gene causing so many different type of traits. Thus it is also an example of phenylketonuria. So I hope you have understood. I taught you 2 important diseases which are caused due to pleiotropy: sickle cell anemia, which is autosomal in inheritance, chromosome number 11, and phenylketonuria, which is caused due to gene mutation in chromosome number 12. Both of them, one gene causing many phenotypic effect, trait effect, thus pleiotropy. Other concepts we'll study in next video. Till that time, revise. Thank you.